Well, we have to report to you. So when were you ski racing?
55?
55?
No, more. 60. But at 13, I went to Bay.
Yeah.
And then I could ski afternoon. So I could work night and until lunch.
So you do that in the afternoon and then
yeah.
go home and have some
Yeah, right.
supper and sleep quickly?
I sleep quickly, always.
Still does that.
I know. And then you would be at the bakery at, what, midnight?
No, before.
Oh, before, really?
Yeah.
That's a long day.
I mean, I did not waste one day of my time.
You know, I've always really been appreciative to Gérard for giving me a shot in the ski business. He hired me when I came back from Europe with Peter Dodge, brought some skis to Williston, went in there and he says, "What you doing after college?" I said, "Looking for a job." He says, "You come to work for me." So I mean, right away I was very appreciative, but I always really had a lot of respect for his insights and what was going on. And Dave and I really continued to have that respect and appreciation of his insights. So it's like, who do we talk to? Let's go see Gérard.
Well, shortly after we built the first prototype, we decided we should go show this to Gérard, because Gérard had been in the ski industry forever and started the Rossignol racing department.
So we did. He had gone back to his first business, if you will, or first job as a baker, and he made this incredible country bakery in the basement of a cottage on his property in Westford, Vermont. And so we sat around this big, beautiful table with gorgeous views of the valley and showed him the boot.
We knew he had what we thought was a better boot. I'd skied on it a couple times, and we went up and set it down on the table with Gérard, and he picked it up and says, "Ah, I see what you're doing here. We made some boots like this for Jean-Claude Killy." And I went, "What?" He said, "Yeah, we built a fiberglass boot and we covered it with leather for him." He says, "This looks like the same thing, similar, almost the same thing."
We went up, I don't know, a dozen times since then to see him and just kind of get grounded.
Gérard had a stroke quite a few years before and was having a hard time walking. And tell us what we did to help him out.
I think it was in 2004 when he had his stroke. And he was having difficulty going around, and he had some boots that looked like Frankenstein boots. But he figured that if he could get something to put some spring into his step, that he'd get around better. So he talked with us, and we made him some carbon fiber insoles that he put into his boots to give him some more spring in his step. Not like he really needed spring in his step, because Gérard, even with a stroke, still got around better than a lot of people. But that was the way that he was always thinking.
We went up one time, and Bill had made out a bunch of sheets of paper with different color schemes and color combinations, and Gérard went, "No, Bill, don't do fashion. Just make the best boot possible."
You still know more about this business than most of the people who are in it. And you've been out of it for 40, 30 years.
It was more fun than it is now. I can tell you,
We're having fun.
So we just need to sell enough boots so we can pay for the new molds and do the next evolution.
You have moved by step, and what, 6 years?
6 years.
Yeah, it's very good
Yeah.
to stay alive.
Yes, that is exactly right.
But every business is like this, except the financial thing. But you have improved a lot of little details, which make a great product at one point. And what you have done this year, it's far superior than the one last year.
Yeah.
So it's the thing not to stop.
Yeah, you have to keep striving to make the best boot.
Right, yeah.
Not to make the most colorful boot or the prettiest boot.
Yeah.
We just remember what would Gerard say?
Sure.
Don't be fashion,
Sure.
just make the best boot possible. And that is our marching order. Bonnet hired
Bonnet,
you?
yeah.
He hired
Yeah.
you?
Yeah, 1 year.
1 year.
1 year, and the coach of the British had an accident, avalanche, killed just a week before the Olympics, 50, 60, 64.
In Innsbruck?
Innsbruck.
So you took his place for the British team?
Right, yeah. yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
At the 64
At
Olympics.
the
in Innsbruck.
64 Olympic. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's where I got a job. Bonnet told me, go work with those guys because they are a lot of fun.
And were they?
They are not going very quick, but
Yeah. Were they fun?
off. That's off.
And then after the Olympics, did you go back to work for Bonnet?
No. No. He said Rossignol is looking for a guy to set up the racing department. They did not have a racing department at the time. So I said, that's my ticket. And
So that was 1964. You started.
right.
You started the racing department for Rossignol
Right,
in
yeah,
1964.
absolutely.
Who were the first racers that you worked with? Was Keeley later or early?
No, Keeley was there already, but he was maybe he was junior.
He was the one for Americans that put Dynamique on the map
Yeah.
from Grenoble.
Grenoble.
So you lost him from Rossignol to Dynamique, or what?
Oh no. For me, we had a deal. The best ski. That's what you should take.
Ah.
And until the last day. That's the last day.
And then he came back to Rossignol after
Yeah.
the Olympics.
After the Olympics, yeah. Keeley had negotiated to be on the best ski on the day. That's it.
Yeah.
And he said, don't bother me with anything else. Make skis which will win. Can help me to win. But
Big difference today.
we see the result too. I loved it when I started again the bread because I wanted to be quiet and not think about money, think about all kind of trick.
What a simpler life.
Yes, yeah.
So how long did you work in the ski industry then?
32 years, but all at Rossignol.